The exclusive home of the Utah Mammoth is on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Upstairs it goes. Sergachev, one-timer from Cooley, and he scores! Out of the slump and into the lead. Logan Cooley breaks a goalless drought and puts the Mammoth in front. It's 2-1, and the Ducks take it. Here they come up the ice. It's Killorn. Killorn lays it back. Seneca, backdoor, they score. Anaheim comes all the way back to win it in overtime.
You're locked into JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Curie, Jeremiah Jensen, Cole Bagley, our Utah Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com. Nice enough to walk into the studio. You guys were recording the podcast. I would imagine that you guys had some frustrated voices on the podcast as well today, I guess is a good way to put it. But what can you tell us about what this team's going through right now? Teams go through wins and losses, and trying to figure some things out here and there is one thing. I think the thing that frustrated me about this second game in a row that was basically, like I said, the kind of carbon copy we saw against the Islanders. They were up 2-1. They give up a late goal, and then they go to overtime and lose it in the first couple of minutes of, the first 90 seconds of overtime or whatever it was. And it's frustrating to watch from a fan standpoint. My kids were beside themselves last night watching this thing. We've created monsters at my house with my 8 and 10-year-olds because now that's the thing that they like the most. And so, we'll scoot you, over to over to your left a little bit. We'll get you on camera here. That way, we have to blur out his mouth when the cuss words start coming out. But explain to us what's going on over the last couple of games and whether or not we should be worried about a deeper issue with this team going forward.
If there's like a mini panic button, I think you can hit it right now. Okay. I don't know about like the big red one, but things are not going well over the last 10 games. No. I mean, they've only won 3. They're 3-5-2 over the last 10. And, like you pointed out, it's kind of the manner in which they lost these last 2 games that I think, if you're going to look, there are a lot of, like, obvious things going on. Like, the goaltending hasn't been very good. The offensive production has been very poor, which I think you can point more towards. It feels like this team is just trying to try a whole bunch of different things out. In terms of their lines, they've swapped lines 1 through 3 a whole bunch of times lately. But I think the biggest thing is just consistent effort. If you've watched them even over the last couple of games, and even in the win against Buffalo, they are not putting together 45 to 50 minutes of consistent hockey. Because at the end of the day, they all talk about playing consistently for 60 minutes. That's not going to happen. It just doesn't happen. It's the best league in the world. The other team at some point is going to play better than you for a good amount of time, a good stretch. But if this team could just play 45 to 50 minutes of consistent hockey, I think they would be winning more games. Because right now it feels like it was the same last year at times. It feels like there's one period where they just let things go and the game gets away from them. And to me, when you're in year 5 of a rebuild and you've got Cooley in his 3rd full season, he just signed a contract for, worth $10 million AAV. Gunther's in his 2nd full season. He's a little bit older. He has a little bit more experience on the back end.
You start off 8-2.
Yeah, you start off 8-2. You win 7 in a row. To me, this is just an unacceptable stretch, and I really do think it comes down to effort. And you saw that last night when they're up with 10 seconds to go. They can't get a clearance. They have Ian Cole step when there's already 2 forwards in that spot. There's 2 Ducks in the crease, and they score the goal to tie it. And then in the overtime, the only player that played that rush right was Sergachev. He played it right. Gunther did not play it right. He didn't step to the shooter or to the outlet pass. Vamelka came way too far out of his net, and then Keller didn't back check. So to me, it's simply effort right now. I think is the biggest thing that you can point to and go, that's why they're not winning.
That is inexcusable.
It is inexcusable.
Because that's the one thing that these guys can control. But you talk about the mini panic button. What is the solution for this team right now? Is this do they need to get together and talk about this? Or like you're looking at this and you're thinking, this is not going the right direction. What needs to happen to change it or to flip things in the right direction? Is this a leadership issue? What needs to happen for this team to get back to playing the level of hockey that they were playing earlier? Now, we don't expect them to win every game, but 6 points in 9 games, we know this team's better. Who steps up and gets this team to rally and to change the effort and change some of these things and fix some of these things?
I don't see enough frustration out there. I want to see more broken sticks.
Yeah.
I want to see guys getting fired up and yelling at each other because it's too happy-go-lucky right now. It's too like, oh, well, we played good enough, but to put ourselves in a chance to win, but we didn't.
You're right, and that's why I think that last night was so infuriating. I was watching the effort at the end of the game. I wanted to throw my remote because I know they're better than that.
Right.
It was garbage.
Right.
It was bad hockey.
I want to see more frustration. I want to see them busting their sticks over the goalposts and along the boards and getting upset. Like, it just feels like, again, the effort's not there, but it doesn't feel like they're angry enough to correct it. Let me
ask you before we get you out here, because I know you're short time, I want to know what because then you get on social media and fans are insane people anyway. We go way too far. But there were a lot of people saying there needs to be a coaching change. And I thought, man, we get real wild because, a week and a half ago or 2
Coach
weeks
of
ago.
the year.
Yeah, right. And so how legitimate are those types of concerns for people who look at that and go, Bear isn't doing a good enough job as a coach either?
That's a really good question. I think all the way around there's issues. I think there's coaching issues in terms of I don't know that the right guys are playing together. One of the things that we outlined in the podcast was they made some significant changes about 6 games ago. They are 1-5 since they made those changes. You've won 1 game and it was against Buffalo. So it's not really like a good team to measure and be like, oh yeah, we figured things out. No, you didn't. You played one of the bottom feeders in the NHL and you had to score 4 unanswered in the 3rd period. Yeah. So I think that's an issue. Power play is obviously an issue. I think they're at 15%.
That's brutal.
That's when you look at the coaching staff and go, guys, what's happening here? Yeah. How can you not get your team there's superstars on that power play unit? There's Sergachev, there's Keller. And then you have young stars like Cooley and Gunther and Peterka. 15% is unacceptable. And so I think that's where there's some coaching issues, but I kind of go back to the effort of it just feels like when this team decides to really play, they can play good, obviously. And you're seeing that across every game right now. And I think Buffalo is the perfect example because Buffalo scored early and Utah kind of had their tail between their legs. It was like, oh, well, we lost this one.
Jeez.
And they didn't play, but then DeSimone scores, and suddenly it's like, oh, okay, we're in it. And then they get the game tying, and then they just go off, and it was like they're playing with their food a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's where the frustration comes from, is this team is capable. This is not a bad team. I don't think this is a Stanley Cup team by any measure, but this is a playoff team, and they're not playing like that right now.
It's wild. Well, push people to the podcast. Where can they go listen? I know you guys fired that up. When's the next episode going to be up? Because I know you guys just finished it over here. I watched speaking of downtrodden faces, when I walked past that studio, I was like, ooh.
Mostly just Michael. I've been in sports journalism long enough that I'm numb to all these things.
You know how the sausage is made.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Especially, I covered the Utes for a couple of years. Okay,
there you go. Well, this is a new shiny toy for us. And so, we're getting way too invested in it, too.
Before you plug, I want to stress that because it has been all shiny. Yeah. No matter what has happened with this franchise, I think this shows the growth in both the franchise and the fan base that people are pissed.
Yeah.
Fans are like, this is garbage.
Yep. Right.
We've arrived. Now you can get mad at your hockey team. It's okay. You can get mad at these guys. You can get mad at the performance because forever it was just like everyone in the world, we're so glad to have hockey here.
Right.
No, not anymore. It's not good enough. You got to go out and play hard every night for us.
There was a quote from Michael Kessering this last week he said why he missed Utah is because he could do anything and he could do no wrong.
Right.
That you don't take that as a compliment. Now you need to reel it in. You need to be realistic.
And I think that's the maturity of this town as a hockey town. Yeah. Is we're starting to okay, what we watched last night was BS.
It is.
That's garbage.
Yeah.
We're not going to accept that. We're gonna put you on blast on the radio. Fans are going to put you on blast on social media if you come out and perform like that again. The honeymoon's over, I guess, basically.
If you went to a Canadian market,
Oh, man.
Good night.
Yeah.
Last night, they would have burned the arena down.
Right.
Now, don't do that.
I was going to say Vancouver will.
Don't burn your barn.
Well, not just because
don't
they
burn
want a
your
new
barn.
arena,
Right.
Insurance policy.
Cole Bagley. You can, of course, read him at KSLSports.com.
Yeah, sorry, I cut him
No,
off.
you're
He didn't
good.
get to plug the podcast.
Yeah.
No,
Where
I
can
got
you
you.
find it?
Utah Hockey Podcast. They just got done
on all KSL's channels, YouTube,
all the platforms.
Spotify,
You got it.
all
Let's
the
go.
platforms.
Sweet.
And so you can dive in and listen to how mad Michael actually is. If there's a tear shed during the podcast, you'll get why. But
And you can watch it too. 'Cause
That's
on
right.
YouTube.
There you go.
Utah Hockey Podcast. Go dip in on any of the channels we have here. Cole, thanks for hanging out, man. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it.